Alright, we're doing some stock deck in. We are playing Domain Ramp. Everyone hates it. It's fair. I respect it. But we got a new card, a new upgrade. And if people want to know changes to make to the deck and ways to upgrade it, I figured this will be helpful for that. But yeah, this is your traditional Up the Beanstalk and Atraxa as your draw engine. Just two of the most powerful cards ever made. Sunfall as a way to trigger Up the Beanstalk, sweep the board. Lockdown, one of the most powerful sweepers ever made. It turns out they're just making good cards these days. And the new addition that is notable with Up the Beanstalk is Overlord of the Hauntwoods. So you'll see in the mana base, I decided to cut some of the surveillance for these verges. The verges play extremely well with a deck full of basic land types, which Domain kind of has to have. And the reason that I'm able to get away with that is Overlord of the Hauntwoods creating an everywhere token, which, as you can see, plains, island, swamp, mountain, forest, it checks everything. So even if I play two forests and one of the verges, and if I cast an Overlord, my ley lines automatically cost 1. My Herd Migration will make 5 3/3s. And it's just super useful in addition to it being an incredibly powerful card. You'll see in the games, there are multiple games where you just play Up the Beanstalk on 2, play this on 3, draw a card ramp, and then just hard cast a second copy on turn 4, draw another card. So you're Up the Beanstalk, drawn 3 cards for 2 mana. So it's basically an Ancestral. It's still in play to draw more cards. And then you have your Domain locked up. You have this really sizable creature. Like the stats on this card, it's very big for what it does. So yeah, not too much to say other than the verges and the mana base. I think the verges are very good. I don't know the correct number, but I was happy with the mana base. I don't think that you need to play 4 Fabled Passage now that you have Overlord. Like, I just think you can kind of ignore having Domain all of the time. It's fine if your Leyline Binding costs 3 or 4 mana some of the games. It's not the end of the world. And then I'm trying one of the White Overlords just because it works so well with Up the Beanstalk. You don't need this if you don't want to worry about crafting it. I don't think we even drew it in the games we played. But the other card I do want to talk about is Archangel of Wrath, which with the way some of the decks work now, the decks are either really, really fast or really, really resilient. And this card hasn't felt great to me. I think that there's a chance that you could just fill your decks with more things like Overlords and more high impact stuff, just because Archangel's not that good against things like the Red Leyline and Convoke, like these decks that can just kill you on turn 3. So you could try like Lightning Helix, Pyroclasm, you could fiddle with the mana base. There's so many ways you could build this deck to be effective. And the last note I want to make about this deck before we go over the sideboard is there seems to be a lot less control than there's been in the past. Obviously, Wandering Emperor left 2 sets ago, but I just haven't played against control. I think control struggles against some of the aggressive decks, and also just like the duress decks, the black mid-range decks, I think are pretty good against it too. So I think this deck's well positioned. You just have to make sure you have answers for the fast decks. And in this case, we have four main deck lockdowns. Moving to the sideboard. This is a pretty stock sideboard. I mostly just looked at what other people were doing and did that. But 3 negates, 2 frillbacks for the mirror. Jace for control in the mirror. Nissa for the mirror. Elspeth Smite for the Slickshot Show-Off decks. I boarded this in versus Convoke. I'm not sure. There might be a better option. Like I said, I think Pyroclasm is probably pretty good. It's just tricky on the mana base, but I think you could rework it because the foundation of the deck is just a green-white deck. And then Imodane's Recruiter for things like the mirror anytime you want to go over the top. And it's okay versus grindy matchups, I guess. And then some Bezas for aggro and Kaya also for the mirror. So we have a lot of cards for the mirror. Maybe overdid it. So I would consider some more anti-aggro cards. You could maybe just play the 4-mana sweeper from MKM until Day of Judgment gets reprinted. But yeah, just stock Domain. I will see you all in the matches, and make sure to like and subscribe. Alright, on the draw. Sounds kind of slow. I'm just going to try it and hope my opponent's not playing aggro. It's maybe fine if I just rip an untap land. But yeah. Mulligan. Mulligan to 5. Okay. No Leyline. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Alright, we'll use this. Don't want that. We just want untap land, I think. If I can survive to this lockdown, I might be okay. But if they convoke out a big thing, that's not good. Okay. Okay, I think I can ramp or I can lock down. I'm gonna lock down and then just double herd migration. I can play this as a 6/5. That'll be good enough, I think. Probably doesn't really matter. I could have just played the Angel. Like I said, I don't know if it really matters. I'm getting 6 life this turn, and then I have Sunfall. If I just gain the 6, I can double kick this too and clear the board. So I guess I won't even need these Sunfalls. I'll just play the Overlord and then play the Angel. Yeah, my opponent drew really poorly after rolling to 5. We'll get red. And doesn't really matter. I guess I'll get white. GG. Unfortunate for them, but I will take it, I guess. I assume this is a... I guess I'm going to say bad matchup, considering they were on the play. Maybe it doesn't matter if I'm on the play, but I assume, in most cases, being on the draw versus Convoke can be scary, but sometimes I just have bad draws like that. How the hell do I want to board? It looks like all of my sideboard cards are not good versus Convoke. I think I want anything that's cheap. And then is Frillback good? I don't think so. Alright, what are my bad cards? Get Lost sort of sucks, but it pairs well with Lockdown if you're clearing the Convoke creatures. Maybe I don't need all 5 Sunfalls on the draw. And I probably don't want more than one Atraxa. I could take out all my Atraxas. Just expensive. Yeah, I mean, it's gotta be worse than Sunfall. Okay, what's the last cut? Thinking maybe just herd migration on the draw. I want to use my mana. These are all just things I can cast. I don't really want like 2 mana gain 3 life. And I think I'll be fine on mana on the draw. I've got 26 lands too. Alright, let's try this. Maybe Frillback is better than some of this other stuff just because it's a 3 mana 3/3, but 3 mana 3/3 versus Convoke sounds terrible, so. It does kill the aura they showed. Huh. I think this is a mole. It looks like a good hand. I have Up the Beanstalk and Leyline Binding, but I don't have any 3 mana sweeper. I also only have 3 domain. I think I'm on a mulligan. I think that this matchup is just about like making sure that you're interacting early. mulliganing, I don't think matters. Like, obviously you don't want to mulligan, but... Okay, probably don't need that. So if they do have, like, the nuts and Convoke here, that's how we're probably losing. If they don't, they might have Counterspell or way to remove the lockdown, I guess. This can get blue. Try to bait a Counterspell here. Yep. Well, I don't... It's a tough spot for the opponent. It's hard to know exactly what I have, because why would I play removal spell when I have Sweeper? But I'm fortunate enough to have a good 3-mana play if they don't pressure the board, so... But they, yeah, I was gonna say they could have a way to deal with this, but they don't. Alright, GG. Alright, I would like to go first. Sounds fine. Yeah, I will land. I will take it. Let's draw an Overlord, please. Oh my god, called shot. Alright, I don't know what my opponents are doing. I assume they're just mid-range, and probably the best matchup if that's the case, especially considering they might not have a 2-drop. But yeah, this is the reason I'm playing this deck. Just played 3-mana ramp, draw a card, and then this becomes a 6/5. Like, this card is just so strong. Oh, this might be it's kind of a mirror, I think. Like, their list is a little different, but they might actually be well configured to beat me. We'll find out, though. Okay. Because, like, these domain mirrors sometimes come down to just weird things like Jace and Kaya. They might have Kaya in their deck. Alright, so we're probably going to strap in for a long one. I'm at 5 mana. So I could lock down my board and then get lost it later. It's just 5 mana, draw 2, make 2 maps. I'm trying to think if that's worth doing. What am I doing next turn? Nothing? It's a very strange play. I just don't know. It's just cycling these basically and getting maps. I guess I want to keep my... I should have enough card advantage. It might even come down to me decking. I want to keep these for Leyline Bindings. Can't kill the Kaya if they have Kaya in their deck, but... Okay, well... They did what I wanted to do for me. They get the maps, but I'm okay with that, I think. Need to be careful not to deck out, but we'll see. They conceded. Wow. Okay, so I don't really know what they're playing. I'm gonna assume they're playing domain. They have... I don't care about lockdown. Alright, so I want Kaya, I want Jace's, I want Imodane, I want Arena to work, I want Frillback, I think I want Negates, and I definitely want Nissa. This side deck has a lot of cards for domain. And now I need to figure out what I don't want. So Sunfall, like these cards can be nice versus Migration, but I think I have so much big stuff. Probably just beat Migration heads up. And then... So I think I'm just deciding what do I want. out of Archangel, Lockdown, and Sunfall. I think Lockdown's the worst one. So what do I want between Beza and Sunfall? They have Aclazots. They have the Armadillo. I really don't know what they're doing. I'm going to put the Sunfall back in and rely. I think I can just win with Jace. I don't even need Archangels. So let's try this. Aclazots isn't that scary because I have Leyline Binding in my deck. Also, I think you can just cast Atraxa. It doesn't really matter if your opponent has an Aclazots. Alright, I keep... Maybe they're just abs in. Do I want to bin one of my Atraxas? I think that's fine. We've got a lot of win conditions, so... Sure. Assume the beans are gone. Get green with this. These Overlords have just been so strong in all the games I've played. I assume this is just the best one, but it's also... It's weird. It's like, I think it's the best one, but it's not the highest impact one because like the extra ramp doesn't do that much for you, but... it's just so good with Up the Beanstalk, and it's green, so I think that's just how it sort of ends up. Alright, well, this game looks very losable after losing the Up the Beanstalk. I'm not sure how effective these Leyline Bindings are going to be. I might get beat up by a Restless Cottage. I think we're still... I don't know what my opponent's playing. Yeah, I think they are just dumb, man. Yep. So we have Overlord advantage. They have mana advantage. They have creature land advantage. If I had to bet, I would say the cards in my deck are higher impact than theirs based off of how many things I boarded in. Okay. Your turn. Yep. Most of the time, if both players have Jace, that's just what it comes down to. So it might be like a quietly positive thing that the Beanstalk got taken away. That being said, if I just get Atraxa, it doesn't matter. I lose the game. Atraxa is a magic card they decided to print. That certainly can be said. Alright. Oh yeah, my favorite part about this card is it doesn't say non-legendary for some strange reason, so you can just loop your Atraxas. It is just such terrible gameplay. It doesn't matter, I guess. I think yeah. It's so hard to win. Alright, so let's pretend we're top decking something we want. I guess I just won't play anything. If I'm drawing exactly Atraxa, my plan could be... I was going to say my plan could be, like, just remove the Atraxas and hope that Herd Migration wins. That's definitely not good enough. Alright, well. I think I will be casting this. And then passing, taking the 7 to make a Sunfall from them worse. Also, they have this extra Atraxa. So, yeah, I think it's better to wait. It feels terrible, but what can you do? Yeah, maybe they're favored with discard, but I think like when you both just have these like huge high impact things, you don't want to be the person that has discard. Okay. Well, that's a sign to me maybe their hand doesn't do anything currently. So I have that going for me. Yeah, okay, this is the thing that I was going to say that I didn't know the name of. That I thought they might be doing, but the way their deck's built, it's kind of strange. So I guess the Armadillo is what made me think it would be this deck. This might just be like a brew. So I guess they're Abzan with Atraxa, and then they're using this to cheat Atraxa into play. And they have a bunch of discard. So I assume they still have Up the Beanstalk in their deck. I'm guessing they're just like a green-black deck that contains Smuggler's Surprise and splashes Atraxa. I'm not going to Leyline Binding this. I would much rather just get lost it. It sucks either way, but... Now we are just waiting to draw our own Up the Beanstalk and Atraxa and hope that that's good enough. Yep. Animate this over play this is pretty crazy. Because it makes sense when you know I have binding. Sure. I don't think... I mean, you can maybe make an argument this is better than the Overlord. I just don't think I buy that. Alright, I will fetch... I can click on any land, it doesn't actually matter. Because these will give us domain. Okay, no attack, no Armadillo. So you just want to thin your deck? I guess I'll bite, whatever. Getting Sunfall sucks. I don't think from this position I should play around anything, and I should just live in a reality where eventually I draw a card that can get me back in the game. I'm not sure. I think that I'm supposed to think that their hand is just like lands and maybe one relevant card. And they just want to thin their deck to draw a high impact card the same way I want to. Okay, I'll binding that. Maybe I shouldn't have. The reason I did it was to protect myself versus the creature land, but I guess we could block though. Yeah, it's probably fine. They could use the map. I don't know. Oh, they discard too. Alright. No luck from our side. And maybe I lost the game when I binned the Atraxa. I still didn't know what they were doing. It's really hard to... It's hard to say, but whatever. I'm trying to fill the dead air because this game is really boring, but I can still win, so I'm just saying random bullshit. But it's not a particularly interesting game state. Yeah, I really, yeah. It is what it is. I'm just kind of waiting on Up the Beanstalk, waiting on Atraxa. I fear it might be too late. We've just only drawn lands. Yeah, you can have it. I have one Sunfall in my deck. Okay. I want to concede. Unfortunately, it's winnable. I can also just draw Atraxa and they get out a removal spell. I could double jump this. I don't really want it to die. Okay, so like I said, they're just like green-black. Smuggler's Surprise. I'm almost more confident now that I know what they're actually doing. I don't think I changed my sideboard plan. Negate doesn't seem great, but it still seems better than all these other cards. And hopefully we just draw spells. Like I think that our deck has higher quality cards than theirs on average. They do have discard, but like I said, like they're not really pressuring me unless they're like, I don't know, unless they're putting Atraxa into play super early, and even then, it's not that big of a deal. So they're mulligan, mull to 5. We're sort of duress proof. I believe I can use Cavern to cast these. And we don't have to worry about it anyway. This is white. Oh no, never mind. Okay, got a good hand. I'm just gonna curve and use my mana. Yep. Oh, it's just so gross. I just went from having... Part of why I'm trying the Verges over the other Surveil lands is this card just gives you 1 mana Leyline Bindings. You don't necessarily need them. So it feels like such a bad play, too. Okay. Let's name Angel and hardcast one of these. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty hard to argue against this card after this game. Like, the other ramp spells are cool. I do like Spelunking, but it's just so good. Wow. Wow. Let's attack. My hand is so good. I'm going to cycle Herd Migration. It doesn't matter. I don't think they can blow up my lands either way. Make some things, and then pass. And we've got a million more mana than the opponent. We have Atraxa, we have Kaya, we have Imodane Recruiter. I think we are set. Yep. Alright, GG. Fortunately, that match didn't last for an hour. I was worried it might. Alright, opponent is AFK. Oh. There we go. Seems pretty bad. I'm gonna mulligan. If I knew that they were an aggressive deck, I think I could keep, but this hand looks great. I guess, what is black even for? I think it's just for domain. Get it back with the Fabled Passage. This will give us an extra white if we need it. Found it anyway. Herd Migration. I want to bottom that, but is it greedy? Blooming Marsh. I don't even think it's that good against green black. They just have like Glissa and Preacher and Aglazotz and stuff like that. Okay. Let's play beans. Alright, a lot of lands. Okay, so they're Vraska combo, which makes it scarier. Not a particularly fast start, but if we don't find Leyline Bindings, I might have to worry about that. I will play this and do the thing. God, this is so strong. Angel. Yeah, also just having 4 of these and them curving into each other is really nice. Okay, so what you're... Sure. So it's going to be 7 power next turn. Send my deck, why not? Just doesn't matter. I keep getting put in these spots where I'm like thinking about what land to get it. I just don't think it's a big deal. Alright. So, we could just die, funnily enough. We did not find a removal spell. Them using the removal spell there, I don't really mind. Probably means they have a bunch. Okay, there's the thing we wanted. So it costs 2. Because of the ward 1. Do they have another way to protect their creature? Probably not. So I think I can just surveil and then cast this. I guess with Atraxa, I'd rather gain 2 life. Let's do this. What if I chump? I chump, I go to 10. What do I think they're going to do? I actually think chumping is good. Because I want to remove this. I'm hoping they sink the mana into it. Like, throwing away cards is kind of weird, but I just have Atraxa, so... Doing nothing. No upgrade is very strange. I don't even know what they could possibly have. Huh. Why didn't they upgrade this? Lockdown's awkward. So if I play the Atraxa, they have removal spell. I don't even have to worry about dying unless they have a second copy of this. I guess I'll go after the creature. I feel like they just made a mistake. I'm not sure. We'll see what they have. All I want is Leyline Binding, and we got it. Atraxa. Good card. I'm gonna take untap land. And I'm not gonna worry about this yet. We can discard the hand size, not a big deal. Okay. I think they just messed up, but it didn't matter. Like, if they were in a spot, like I found Leyline Binding, but I guess if they didn't level it up, I would have Leyline Binding the enchantment because of Vraska, and then it would have been an awkward spot where, like, if I play Atraxa and I break on removal spell and they have spot removal, I die, so I probably would have temporarily locked down my own Beanstalk. Maybe that was a position they would have been able to work out of, but whatever. Alright, so they have the Vigilance 2-drop, which I don't think is stock. But they didn't play many cards that game. So Smite kills Mosswood, Glissa. It's not great against the 2-drop. Maybe it's okay. It's really bad against discard spells, though. And then this blows up the enchantment. I don't know if that's actually good. I kind of just don't want to sideboard. Again, I could take out Herd Migration on the draw. Archangel doesn't seem great. It's fine. Are these cards better than it? Like, I could have Beza over Archangel. I could actually see that. Because I assume they're going to play to the board. I guess it's bad against the enchantment, though. What if I had Frillback? I don't know. All my cards just seem good. Is this good? Alright, let's try this. Just because I want to see how good the Frillbacks are. I'm actually going to split the difference. If I am going to draw both of these cards, I think I would rather have 1 and 1. Ideally, I kind of just don't want to draw them. But I don't think Archangel is going to be good against the Vraska combo. Also, their creatures can kind of outscale the Shocks and the Lifelinker. So, that's my logic. Might be flawed, but... Getting dressed, and then top decking Up the Beanstalk. Please and thank you. The mana's been great. No complaints about the mana, but maybe we've just been fortunate. It is awkward here, I guess, but I mean, this is going to cost 2 eventually. Yeah, we just have these. Just fix everything. Yep. Doesn't matter. What? Bone it? What's this doing? What are you doing over there? Okay, here's follow my logic. This card is in their main deck, and they left it in. I don't know why you would board this card in. So I'm going to assume that this person likes this card and wants to make 1/1s, and that's why this is happening. 'Cause otherwise, I don't get it. Yep. Ooh. Oh my god, this card is balanced. Okay. Kind of want to do nothing. So I want to cast, I want to cast this as a creature. I guess I should just play the Overlord. Kind of wanted to just do nothing, let them play to the board, and then I have Lockdown and this. Also, I wanted the 6/5, so I didn't really want to play this for 3, but considering I have this, it's so unlikely I'm under pressure, which means that these will have an impact regardless of how slowly they come into play. And I get to use most of my mana, and I get to trigger Up the Beanstalk. So that's why I did this, even though it's not perfect. I think it's good. I mean, I just don't know how we lose from this spot. Maybe if they have a card that blows up all the enchantments. Okay. I still want to keep my beans. I guess I'm just playing this to gain life. I don't want to lock down yet. So we get to kill. Sure, I guess I can do all of them. Gain 4 life. Target player, me. Wait. Oh. Okay, yeah, sorry. Alright, your turn. So these are ticking away. I'm at 17. Every time they use this, they're just time walking themselves. I have a Leyline Binding. I got a Lockdown. I'm not blocking this. I don't want them to draw. Glissa, sure. Leyline Binding's so cheap. I can wait to see if I draw Sunfall. I will play this now. Ooh, that's a good one. Think they can't beat that. Because they could terrace under this. And then, like, start eating my enchantments, maybe, but the Herd Migration's just GG. Yeah, I mean, that was just brutal. Domain is just such a disgusting deck. I think we played against some good matchups, but it's a good reminder of how powerful these cards are and how good the new Overlord is. So, you know, sorry if you wanted something a little more spicy. I figure I should probably play some stock decks on occasion. So that was me doing this and showing off some of the new cards. If you guys liked it, make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, and I will catch y'all in the next video. feel free to holler at me in the comments too if there's specific things you want to see. Like, just because you say you want to see something doesn't mean I'm going to do it, but it will certainly affect my decisions, because Magic, there's so many different things to do in Magic. Sometimes I struggle to decide what deck to play and things like that. So, all right, peace.